All right, so about a month ago, I picked up Matt Fraction and David Aya's Hawkeye Omnibus, and I think I spent 60 bucks on this, shipped same day, and as you can see here, it retails for $99, right? 100 bucks. And there's no way I would pay that price for this book for two big reasons. Number one is it's not that thick. It's not a very big omnibus at all. You can see here, it collects Hawkeye 1 through 22 and the annual. Young Avenger presents number 6. That's it. So it's not a very long read. And number two, half of this book is excellent. The first half. The first half is really, really good. The second half, not so much. And what I've learned since I bought it is I guess there was some production delays, and that may have been what caused the story to kind of sort of fall apart over the third act in this. I'm not sure. Some people absolutely love it. I mean, you see here Marvel's best comic and New York Times bestseller, and it has some moments in it. The art is the star attraction here for sure, and arguably the first half of the book, the story is excellent. You see Hawkeye, going through everything. I mean, he gets just beat to hell and back in this book. The Matt Fraction really puts him through the ringer here. I think my issue with his story arc in this book is that he doesn't really change. At the end of the book, he's not any better or worse than he is here. The only difference is he kind of stood up to the bad guys that he was already doing throughout the whole book anyway. So he's really not he's not different at the end. He didn't come out with some epiphany or anything, but you may disagree with me on that. The other problem I have with this book is the new Hawkeye. Her story arc in this is so disjointed that it's distracting. She's great here, right? She's really, like, she wants to be Hawkeye's pupil. She wants him to be her mentor. She's trying to learn from him, but she's already sort of mastered everything. Like, she doesn't struggle. She's mastered. And then at some point, she decides to just leave him and go to California, right? And it's just one of those disjointed messes where don't really 100% understand why she's leaving. It doesn't make a lot of sense because she had been wanting to be, she had been there for him. She's, with him through thick and thin, through all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden she splits OC at peace. And it's just, like I said, it's very disjointing that she would just up and leave him. And when she gets in California, I understand there's some story implications and stuff there, that they're setting up for the overarching theme. But I think really what they want to do is set up that West Coast Avengers. It seems like that was kind of what they wanted to do there. This is by far the highlight of this book. And it's not very long, but it's very creative. And it's Pizza Dog and Pizza Is My Business. And it's really well done. The whole bit is told from the perspective of the dog. It's very well done, and I think you will enjoy it. I don't want to give away too much of it here, but I mean, you can see it's just how it's a lesson in how to tell a visual story, and it's really well done. So I think at the end of that, yeah, this is when she decides to leave, and it's not clear why she leaves, and I think that's why one of the reasons why they decided to tell this bit from the perspective of the dog. So it's not real clear on why she decides to leave, other than the fact that, well, we need her to get to California so she can do this other stuff. And like she changes as a character, though, it appears, when she gets out there, because like up until now she's been, a realist, She gets out here, and to their credit, you know, they do put her through the ringer and give her some challenges and stuff, but she's so ditzy and airheaded that she's more annoying than she is enjoyable, and like, oh, you know, you're not rooting for her. You're rooting for her to fail, you know, because it's like, oh, I'm just going to take this car and this dog and go to California. It's it's ridiculous. Like, why? She has no family out there. She had no reason to go out there. And especially knowing what he was dealing with back in New York, it makes it like, it just makes you dislike her even more. And so it's like, okay, you dislike her, but we're going to bring her back a couple of more times and keep telling her story. And it's just like, man, you know, I don't know. It just seemed ridiculous, you know. And then they get real, you know, liberal once she gets out to California. You know, the only people that help her are this gay couple who apparently don't work. They just all live on the beach all day and enjoy fires, and who knows what the hell they do all day. But it's just a ridiculous story. You know, she's instantly in trouble with the police. I mean, her whole story arc after the second half of this book is just, it's distracting, it's annoying, and there's one plot point that really comes out of it that's important to this overarching story, and it's never clear. It's not 100% clear what happened and why. But either way, that's number one story problem. Number two is, it's just that Hawkeye doesn't really change a whole lot at the end of this. You know, he makes his final stand at the building against the Russian, you know, Grand Theft Auto 4 gangsters coming in. And I don't want to give away too much, but it's over the top action, man. It's just over the top. He gets shot multiple times and still jumping around and running around. It's like, you know, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, if you're buying this for the art and as if like in a lesson on how to tell a visual story, if you're a budding comic book artist or a storyboard artist, then pick this up, use it for that, and move on about your day. Use it as a reference. But you know, if you're buying this because you are wanting a good story and a masterpiece, then you're probably going to want to continue looking, because that's not what this is. But it is a decent story. I think it's highly overpriced. If you can find it, I would say probably for, you know, $50 or less, then that might be worth it. If you really like this character, or you want to learn more about Hawkeye as a person, even though this Hawkeye here is not the Hawkeye that's in the Avengers movies, or you know, the MCU Hawkeye. You know, this guy doesn't have a wife and kids and a farm and stuff like that. This guy he's a borderline alcoholic that lives alone in New York, and apparently has a lot of luck with the ladies, but then he has a lot of bad luck with them as well. He pisses them all off. And that's essentially his story arc through this book. But it's not overall bad. Like I said, the art is excellent. Some of the writing is just top notch, great stuff. I just, you know, feel like it kind of falls apart toward the end, which is unfortunate because it really was set up to be a masterpiece, and it could have been. But it is what it is. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry this was so long. And if you guys have read Hawkeye, leave it down in the comments on your thoughts or opinions on it. All right. Take care. Peace.